Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video, and today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas. And my present to you guys is not one, not two, but 3 whole videos today. I'm going to be uploading one at 12 p.m. my time, which is the one you're watching right now, 3 p.m. my time, and 6 p.m. my time, all 3 hours apart, obviously. But we're going to be rebuilding the Pittsburgh Steelers today, so if you guys are excited for these 3 uploads, let me know down in the comments section. But this is going to be a fun rebuild, so let's just jump straight into the overlook of the team. So here we are with the overlook of the team, as we have Big Ben as our quarterback, and he does pretty well in simulation, but I think he'll probably retire after the first year. But if he does well, I probably actually will re-sign him. I know one of my subscribers absolutely loves him. And James Conner here, 82 overall, star development. I don't know how he's going to play. He usually does not play that great, but a young group of receivers that I plan to do amazing with. Eric Ebron is here. I'll probably keep him throughout the entire rebuild. O-line is overall solid. Marquise Pouncey is getting up in age, but I'll probably keep him throughout the entire rebuild if I can. And Alejandro Villanueva, I think he's going to have to go at the end of the season. But defensively, D-line looking pretty good. It's on the older side, but I think I can keep them throughout the entire rebuild. TJ Watt is an absolute monster. I'm going to start Devin Bush. And they got Avery Williamson for like a 6th round pick, I think, from the Jets. That was an absolute steal. But in this rebuild, I think Avery Williamson isn't going to be that great just because he is 29 years old. I can probably trade him for a lot more than a 6th round pick, but I probably won't do that in the first season. Steven Nelson is here, and Minkah Fitzpatrick is an absolute GOAT. He seems to be dominating on the Steelers a lot better than he did on the Dolphins. So other than that, guys, it's time to jump into the trades. So here we are with the first trade, as we were trading away Joe Hayden on defensive tackle for a 1st and a 5th from the Atlanta Falcons. So now here we are with the second trade, as we were trading with Vince Williams and Vance McDonald, and a 6th round pick for a 1st from the Jets. Didn't really get to see it there, but it was there. Still, this is what the team looks like after the trades, and honestly kind of looks the same. Giving a Vance McDonald was definitely a W for us for a 1st round pick from the Jets. That was a big thing. We were kind of ripping off the Jets, considering we got Avery Williamson for a 6th, and we also got a 1st round pick out of them for Vance McDonald and an aging middle linebacker. But here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a bye week to the bye week. I don't know what I was saying. I was about to say we were coming off a win to the bye week. I don't know what's happening, but we were coming off a bye week, and we have to re-sign Juju Smith-Schuster, the Corvette. If you guys know what I'm talking about, TikTok boy out here.
Corvette, hop in a motherfucking jet like that. They were like.
A few moments later.
Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up.
He stays with the team. Mike Hilton is out here, 84 overall, star dev, and I'm going to re-sign him. That's actually relatively cheap for his overall, so I like that, and he stays with the team. Bud Dupree, I would like to see how he regresses at the end of the season, because regression does start at 28, but I would be okay with a 1 or 2 year deal with him, not a 4-year deal. Avery Williamson, same deal with him. I think I would be okay with a 1 or 2 year deal, but not really that great. James Conner, no thanks. I don't really think I will need him. Usually there's a lot of really good halfbacks in free agency that I can pick up for really cheap, so I'll probably do that. So anyways, guys, let's jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Browns. We finished 9-7, second in the division, behind the 11-5 Browns. If we beat the Browns, we would have taken the division. Big Ben had a great season. Is that MVP? No, Watson wins MVP, and Big Ben goes to number 6. So Big Ben, amazing year for him. 11th best offensively and 13th the best defensively. Big Ben, 4,400 yards, 38 TDs, 11 interceptions. James Conner did not good at all. I don't like that. Chase Claypool was a beast. 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, and 11 TDs for Eric Ebron. Chase Claypool probably is going to get a dev up. Devin Bush with the most tackles on team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 10 for Cameron Hayward. And most sacks on team, 9 for J.J. Watt. Interceptions, 2 for Mike Hilton. Safeties on the team is going to be 1 for Cameron Hayward, and defensive touchdowns is 1 for Mike Hilton. So overall, a pretty great team other than James Conner. James Conner was kind of the thing that was holding us back, but let's get to the offseason. So even though we did go 9-7, the Seahawks beat the Colts in the Super Bowl, by the way. Even though we did go 9-7, we didn't make the playoffs. It was pretty disappointing, but Big Ben did retire.
I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow.
I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
He was the only person in the entire AFC North to retire, so that is interesting indeed. I know definitely there will be a few people that hate That's a move by Big Ben. But still, I was going to actually keep Big Ben on the team for a year and probably start him because he had a great season. But Bud Dupree, he is regressing, but I will keep him for 1 or 2 years. I cannot keep him for 4 years. He doesn't want to be on the team. That's okay. I'm not going to tag him for $15 million a year. Avery Williamson, got him for a 6th-round pick, so it doesn't really matter too much if we let him go. But I only want him for 1 or 2 years. Don't really want him for that long, and he wants to test out free agency as well. James Conner, I just don't want. I can just pick him up for cheaper in free agency if I need to. And everyone else here I don't want as well. James Conner did terrible, so there's no point to picking him back up anyways. So, please do not give me Mason Rudolph. I do not want the man who got his head smashed in by Myles Garrett on the team. But we have Chase Claypool here, who does have superstar dev, so I definitely want to keep that around on this team for sure. And he's in the slot as well, which is interesting for a guy that is 6'5". Devin Bush has superstar development. I am very happy about that. And it looks like everyone else here. Wait, no, Mike Hilton has superstar dev as well. That is very good. 85 overall, superstar dev. Glad I signed him on the contract that I did. It's relatively cheap for his potential, so let's jump into free agency. So here we are after free agency as James Conner had a massive contract on him. So we are temporarily going to keep Gus the Bus on here, and he's actually pretty good in simulation. He did come from the Ravens, but it's okay. We got Jordan Reed as a depth tight end, and defensively, it looks like we got really no one, but special teams wise, we got Matt Hawk here as our star development punter, 74 overall star development, 27 years old. So let's get to the draft. So here we are in the draft, picking up a defensive tackle, 78 overall, only normal dev, but he is the second best in the class as we picked him up at number 12. And next we're picking up a right end, Spencer Ellis, 76 overall, hidden dev. Picked him up in the 2nd round, but he is ranked at number 4 in the entire class. Next we're picking up a middle linebacker, 67 overall, hidden dev. Picked him up in the 3rd round, and that's a pretty good pick in my opinion because it's dev. But still, this is what the team looks like after the draft. Why didn't it show that? I don't know why it didn't show me picking up my QB, but I did get a QB. If you guys did see that there, I don't know. I guess it didn't record that clip because I don't see it for some reason, but we did get a QB, so let's get into the midseason mark. So here we are at the midseason mark as we were coming off a loss to the Browns once again. As we're at the bottom of the division, 3-5. The new QB does not seem to be panning out too well. Again, I don't know why he wasn't showing up in the draft, but he only had normal dev and he was a 74 overall, so it wasn't like a big miss, I guess. TJ Watt, massive deal. He wants even more salary, even though I just gave him a lot more salary, so he's being greedy. David DeCastro here, 92 overall, superstar dev. Oh, I thought he was like 27, 28 years old. I didn't know he was 31, but okay. But he still does re-sign with the team. Marquise Pouncey, I would love to keep him around if he does not retire, so I actually will do this deal. Actually, on a 2, maybe even 3-year deal. I'll have to see how he regresses at the end of the year, but Eric Ebron here, I feel like, no, I definitely should re-sign him. He is an 84 overall. I doubt he'll go below an 80 throughout this rebuild, so I'll keep him around as the long-term tight end as he resigns. Steven Nelson, 28 years old. I'll have to see how he regresses at the end of the year. Terrell Edmonds seems like a bust, and everyone else here I do not have an interest for, especially Mason Rudolph. So other than that, guys, let's get into the playoffs. So we were in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, getting blown out by the Colts, 31-3, and we finished 5-11, bottom of the division. Ooh, wow, the rookie QB did not do bad for a rookie. That was actually really good. Ryan Tannehill wins MVP. That's surprising. So our rookie QB, does he win Offensive Rookie of the Year? Yes, he does. Dan Hanna. Very interesting name. But he is 8th in best QB in the entire league. But it seems like our offense did 22nd, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And 28th best defense. Interesting. And Dan Hanna, 4,100 yards, 34 TDs, 11 interceptions. Gus Edwards did worse than James Conner. That is surprising. And Chase Claypool, 1,200 yards, 13 TDs. He is dominating the NFL. And defensively, Devin Bush with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 18 for Stephon Tuitt. That is amazing. Sacks on the team, 8.5 for J.J. Watt. I wish I got more than that after paying him that big of a deal. Steven Nelson with 3 interceptions. Safeties is 0, and defensive touchdowns is 0 as well. Little bit of a disappointing season, but the new rookie looks pretty promising. So other than that, guys, let's get into the offseason. So here we are in the offseason as the Colts beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Looking into the AFC North, nobody on our team did retire, but Calais Campbell on the Ravens and Alex Mack on the Bengals did retire, but we have players to resign such as TJ Watt as he continuously wants more money and he's being super greedy, so I'm going to up that even more. and he gets paid. He's getting paid $19 million per year to be a defensive player, which is surprising. Marquise Pouncey, I'd be okay with a 1, maybe 2-year deal, but I feel like I can get him cheaper in free agency since he is on the older side. Old offensive linemen don't ever get picked up easily. Well, don't ever really get picked up in free agency at all. So I'll probably get him on a cheap deal. And Dan Hanna now has star dev, not superstar dev. And if you look at his build, he's kind of like Big Ben. He is 6'6", and Chase Claypool has superstar X Factor, but he was 6'6" and 225 pounds. I mean, yes, Big Ben probably weighs a little bit more, well, a lot more probably, but Dan Hanna is 6'6", quite the stature, if I do say myself, but no, I'm not really 6'6", but still, Devin Bush, still superstar dev. That middle linebacker only has star dev. Defense looks the exact same, but Chase Claypool and that quarterback is something to look forward to. But anyways, guys, this is the team after free agency. We did pick up Mitchell Schwartz, the right tackle, and we moved him to left tackle. And we also pick up Marquise Pouncey back from free agency on a much cheaper deal. And I moved Mitchell Schwartz to left tackle, and we also picked up Rojo, who has star dev, 87 overall. That's definitely going to be a massive upgrade, especially over James Conner. I think James Conner would be like an 85, 86 right now, so I think that'd be better. But we also got Justin Reed here, and it looks like that defensive back we got in the draft, he's only star dev and 64 overall. I didn't notice him till now, but anyways, guys, other than that, let's get into the draft. Here we are in the draft, picking up a strong safety, who I'm going to move down to defensive back, 76 overall, hidden dev, 6'1", 211 pounds. Next, we're picking up a middle linebacker, 73 overall, normal dev, ranked at number 31 in the class. And this is the team after the draft. Offensively, we didn't really do too much. Offensive line is actually looking pretty good. And defensively, I'm going to move this strong safety down to defensive back. But if you guys have made it this far in the video, let me know down in the comment section below. It would really mean a lot to me. But yes, we are now going to move him to defensive back to see how he would play there. We are in desperate need of a defensive back. And the rest of this team honestly looks great. We just need to perform and develop that new QB, Dan Hanna. And yeah, everything else looks really good here, like I said before, and I guess maybe more depth at defensive back would be nice, but other than that, guys, it is time to get into the midseason mark. So we are at the midseason mark as we're coming off a win to the Houston Texans, and we're 3-4 in a highly contested division as the Ravens are at the top of the division at 5-3. Go Ravens! Minkah Fitzpatrick, 94 overall, superstar dev, for sure want to keep him around here, up that salary a little bit, and he does stay with the team. Stephon Tuitt, 89 overall, star dev. He's only 29. I thought he was in his 30s already. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know he was that young when we started, but I'm definitely going to keep him around on the team. Deontay Johnson, he's going to be a great slot guy. I'm going to make Chase Claypool my number 1. Deontay Johnson is going to stay with the team, and Chris Boswell, I can get him cheaper in free agency. Jordan Reed, I do not need. I kind of ran Jordan Reed, I do not need. But anyways, guys, enough of me rambling on about that. I'm going to look into the team real quick here. I'll probably start Chase Claypool as my number 1 maybe. But he has been dominating in the slot, so I'll actually keep him there for now. By the end of the season, if he doesn't do that well this season in the slot, then I probably will change him to my number 1. But we changed some schemes up to make sure that we could possibly make the playoffs this year and go from 3-4 to making the playoffs. So anyways, guys, it's time to jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Bengals as we made the playoffs here to face the 10-6 New York Jets, as we made the 3rd seed at 10-6, which is interesting. Top of the division above the 9-7 Baltimore Ravens. The Dan Hanna had another great year. 20th best offense, though. That doesn't seem right. And 9th best defense. Dan Hanna, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Rojo did terrible. Why does Gus Edwards have 13 touchdowns and Rojo only have 3? That makes 0 sense at all. Deontay Johnson's 1,100 yards and 11 TDs. Great year for him. Chase Claypool did not do great, especially since having superstar X Factor. But Deontay Johnson could get a dev up. And defensively, Devin Bush with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 20 for Stephon Tuitt, and sacks on the team, 11.5 for J.J. Watt, finally having that breakout season I want him to. Minkah has 5 interceptions, great year for him. Safeties on the team is 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is 1 for Minkah, so that's probably going to be a dev up by the end of the season. So we're going to simulate this wildcard round against the New York Jets. God, I hope we can actually beat the New York Jets in simulation, who are 10-6 somehow. And do we beat them? We do, winning 34-28. That was probably an overtime game, considering it was 34-28. Kind of a weird score, but still, 10-6 Buffalo Bills versus the 10-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Can we beat them in the divisional round to move on to the conference championship? We can, beating them 35-14, and we are going to face the 10-6 Indianapolis Colts. Dang, we faced the 10-6 Jets, 10-6 Bills. Now we're facing the 10-6 Colts, and we are 10-6 as well. That's a lot of 10-6 to go by. But anyways, guys, it is time to jump into this matchup. So it is a very close game, 19-24 against the Colts, and we are going to win and move on to the Super Bowl. 19-24 is the final score as they have Jameis Winston. And here we are in the Super Bowl here to face the 9-7 Panthers. It seems like no first round bye teams actually made it. 9-7 Panthers, and we faced a bunch of 10-6 teams before that, so that is very interesting. But it looks like Dan Hanna has superstar development. That is cool. Deontay Johnson also has superstar development. He's going to be my slot receiver from now on. He's already in the slot, so that probably makes sense why he had such a good season. Chase Claypool is now my number one. And defensively, it looks like Stephon Tuitt also has superstar dev, and Minkah Fitzpatrick has superstar X Factor. That's what I wanted to see. Minkah Fitzpatrick is an absolute beast, but Stephon Tuitt does have superstar dev, is what I've noticed, and Dan Hanna also has it as well. But still, if I'm saying his name wrong, like Dan Hanna, I'd feel so stupid if I'm saying it wrong. Hopefully I'm saying it right, but still, anyways, guys, it is time to jump into the Super Bowl. So here we are in the Super Bowl as it is 38-20 now. We were beating the living crap out of them before. I believe it was like 31-7 before, but it's 45-20, and 45-20 is going to be your final score as we beat the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers get their 7th Super Bowl ring, boys, against Teddy B, Brian Burns, and all those other players. Steelers are Super Bowl champions. And your Super Bowl MVP is Dan Hanna, the next Big Ben. 329 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception, 72.7% completion rate. Absolutely great game for him. Almost a perfect stat line other than that interception. But this is the offseason now, as we are going to be looking into some contracts here. And Chris Boswell I don't need. Jordan Reed is a 75 now, no thanks. And everyone else here I do not want. But we also need to look into the 2022 retirements. It looks like we got some offensive linemen. Mitchell Schwartz retired and Marquise Pouncey. That is a killer. We needed them for the last season. That was big losses. That is really bad. The only good player we have is David DeCastro. I mean, we have pretty average players at right tackle and right guard, but not great. Dan Hanna, again, superstar dev. I'm going to continue to go into strong arm whenever I upgrade him. But yeah, this is the next Big Ben, man. Really big. Well, really tall, but not really the thick size, I would say. But still, where did he get it? There it is. Plus superstar dev. I didn't notice that before, but it does say it right there for y'all's information if you guys think it is a big brain play for me to cheat, but I did not. But still, we have Chase Claypool here, and he needs to be starting, but I'll change that later. But for right now, it looks like defensively nothing changed either. I don't know why I'm looking at it, but still, let's get into free agency. Here we are in free agency, as after free agency, we didn't really get much on offense, and defensively, we didn't really get much at all either. We didn't get anything. The only person we got in free agency was Chris Boswell, because free agency kind of sucked this year. It was really limited. But anyways, guys, let's get into the draft. So in the draft, this is the final season, so we're going all out as I'm trading away a second and a third for Lane Johnson. Probably going to move him to left tackle. Final season, so might as well go all out. Next, we're picking up a center. Second round pick and a third round pick for Brandon Linder from the Jaguars for our center. And next, we're trading first this year, first next year, and a fifth next year for the tight end, Darren Waller. So I wanted to mix it up. I could have easily traded for George Kittle, which would have been a lot easier. So I chose to do Darren Waller instead. And everyone else here kind of looks pretty average, I would say. We definitely need some depth at defensive back, if I do say myself, because it's looking pretty lackluster right now. But let's get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Chiefs, and we are 0-7. What kind of crack is EA smoking? What is this? 0-7, bottom of the division. You're telling me a 92 overall team goes 0-7 at the midseason mark? Loss. Most of them are all close losses, actually. But still, 0-7? What? We are a 91 overall team, and you're going to tell me we go 0-7. The QB is not bad. Rojo is not bad. We have 3 amazing receivers. Defensively, our pass rush is on point. The coverage looks good. Minkah is good. Justin Reed is good. Or Jordan Reed, I don't know his name. I feel so stupid, but 0-7? Are you kidding me, EA? It just stuns me. How are we 0-7? That doesn't make any sense. I'm moving Chase Claypool at 1. I don't know why it wasn't there before. But just like every season, in the final season, we don't need to re-sign anybody because it is the final season. So, yeah, everyone else here, we had a bunch of superstar players there, so that was pretty cool, I guess. Well, it wouldn't have been cool if we had to re-sign them, so let's just jump into the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs coming off a loss to the Browns, and surprise, surprise, we didn't make the playoffs. As we finished 4-12, because that makes so much sense that a 92 overall team goes 0-7 and finishes 4-12. EA, please fix your game. This is such BS. And you did this to me on Christmas. He didn't have a bad season. That's a great season. What? 19th best offense? How are we 28th on defense? Our pass rush is great and our secondary looks good. 4,400 yards, 30 TDs, 15 interceptions. Rojo did awful. Is that the problem? Our run game? He's an 88 overall. He shouldn't be a problem. Juju did good. Deontay did good. And Chase Claypool fell off the last 2 years. Blocking wise, it looks like Devin Bush with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 15 for our defensive tackle, and sacks on the team, 17 for TJ Watt. We're getting pressure. I don't see the problem. 4 interceptions for Kevin Gardner, and safeties on the team is 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is going to be 1 for Kevin Gardner. So, very interesting episode, I would say. Very interesting rebuild. And we did win the Super Bowl, so this is if I can speak, this is a successful rebuild. I'm very happy with this team. I'm not very happy how we went 0-7 at the midseason mark, and then EA is like, yeah, let's make them finish 4-12, 92 overall team. Fix your game. Simulation sucks, even with a 92 overall team. I didn't make the playoffs and finished 4-12. I even changed my schemes, and I used the same scheme that I used to win the Super Bowl last year, and my team has improved since then. That makes no sense. But anyways, guys, as I said before, I'm uploading 3 times today. One at 12 p.m. my time, one at 3 p.m. my time, and one at 6 p.m. my time. So stick around for that. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Very fun rebuild other than the final season. So other than that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.